Welcome to Book Time with Ryan. I am Ryan, and today I'll be talking about Dan Simmons Olympos. This is number 2 in the Ilium series. My last video I did about books was Ilium, a review of Ilium, which was long. That book was, I have it right in front of me, and I'll tell you why. That book was 725 pages or 731, 32, 31 pages. And I said when I finished that I was going to start on the next book, Olympos. And I did. And I thought maybe it was longer. It's a lot longer. It feels a lot longer. It was 891 pages. That's pretty thick. That's a lot of pages. Right? Look at that. That's the difference. Oh, maybe I should turn it the other way. Mm-hmm. It's a pretty good difference. It's a continuation. I believe Olympos picks up 3 months after Ilium ends. Now, I read these back to back, and there is a good chance that I may confuse things that happened in Ilium with things that may have happened in Olympos. So I'm going to try not to. If you watched my video of the review of Ilium, I was pretty confused. There were a lot of questions I had at the end of it, and some people in the comments said that a lot of that would be clearer after reading Olympos, and it was. There are a lot of questions I still have. Also, the way it ended, I don't know. I give it 4 stars. I gave Ilium 5 stars. I gave Olympos 4 stars. I just thought so many things could have happened with Olympos, and I don't know if it did. I don't know if I'm missing some of the meaning because I haven't read The Tempest by William Shakespeare. I'm going to keep Ilium with me because in the back of Ilium is a list of characters, and these are the same characters that we find in Olympos. Olympos doesn't have that feature in the book, and there's a very good chance that I will confuse things. There's still a very good chance that I will confuse things. I'm going to go over the kind of the storylines really quickly as they go through Ilium and Olympos, and then I just want you to know that in Olympos they all come together. And they started to in Ilium. You have kind of 3 stories. You have the Siege of Troy, the Trojan War. This is Achilles versus Hector. You have the story on Earth that is happening thousands of years in the future. And then you have a story with Morvax, which are these, they're kind of like robots, but they're living. And they've evolved since they were seeded by humans in outer space. At the end of Ilium, we are looking at a united Trojan Greek front against the Olympians, the gods of Olympus, Zeus and his family. There's a lot of incest in Greek mythology. We are looking at big changes on Earth with the other group. This is the group with Harmon, Damon, Ada. And they had just taken out this kind of satellite system, a couple rings that go around Earth, our Earth in the future. People on Earth, on our Earth, are modified with nanotechnology, and they're called post-humans. No, old-style humans. Before them, there were these kind of superhuman, they evolved into superhumans called post-humans, and they've all disappeared. What they found in the rings were the remnants of post-humans, the bodies, and a demon called Caliban, which was the offspring of Sycorax, Circe. They just took down Caliban, maybe dead, maybe not. It's returned Prospero, who is this kind of benevolent godlike figure, to Earth, and things are going to change. And then the Morvax have been helping. They're researching these anomalies in space that could destroy the solar system, and they're helping the Trojans and the Greeks because it is actually the gods like Zeus and his family who are creating this anomaly, the quantum anomaly. That's kind of Ilium. That's where we're left off. Olympos picks up with 3 months later with the war between the humans in Troy, we're going to call it Ilium Earth, and Troy, fighting the Olympian gods. We will find out that those gods are actually post-humans that were gifted abilities by Prospero and Setebos, and it's honestly kind of I because I haven't read the Tempest. I looked up some of these names. I'm like, okay, they're all in the Tempest, but I don't know really the roles or if these books kind of parallel, retell it. I just don't know. I'm sorry. So they're fighting, and it's back and forth. Back and forth. A lot of people have died. Some of the gods have died. They have these vats that can revive them. So as the gods are killed, they are taken back up and regenerated. While this is all going on, we're also finding out that because the 2 rings were taken out on regular Earth, our Earth, the Voynix, which are these kind of dog-like killing machines, they have decided that they are going to start killing all the humans. So now the humans are having to deal with that. Fast forward, things really start to blow up. The wormhole kind of things that they're using to transport are starting to collapse. And the Morvacs pull out of Olympos, which is the home of the gods in this story, and go back to their ships, and they're going to go to Earth, our Earth. Now, what does that mean? Olympos is the Olympus Mons mountain, a volcanic mountain on Mars. And basically what happened was the old Mars was destroyed, and this Mars was taken from an alternate universe because it's different weight, terraformed long ago, and this is the home of the gods, but they will quantum teleport to an Earth in another dimension that is Ilium Earth, where they have the Troy battle going on. And because they have to teleport between the two, as those holes are closing, the Morvacs need to get out of there so they're not in another dimension back in time. So they all get out of there, and they're going to Earth. The gods can still teleport between dimensions, and it turns out that there's going to be a bigger battle. The Trojans and the Greeks are going to start fighting again. Zeus is going to try to take on, kind of declares himself as the single god, which pisses off this Demogorgon from basically below Hades. And the Titans come back and they fight. And they fight Zeus. Zeus skedaddles. Achilles tracks him down, and Achilles kills Zeus. Zeus is dead. Troy is still battling. We knew that they were probably going to die because of this battle between, probably 100-year battle between the Titans and the gods. And the new ruler of Olympos, Hephaestus. I'm going to butcher the pronunciation. I know. I'm sorry. Hephaestus. He is going to quantum teleport, transport Troy to our Earth, which is currently unoccupied. Now, like, all these different people have been caught and put into these light rays by this evil being called Setebos, which is a giant brain walking around on hands, and it has lots of little eyes, and it can read your mind, and it feeds off of pain and agony, historic pain and agony. So places where bad things happened, Hiroshima, probably the beaches of Normandy, Dachau, or Auschwitz. It goes there and it feeds off of all that bad stuff. So it's doing that, and as it's done that, it's kind of wiped out different cities where bad things have happened. There is this being, this monster called Caliban that was working for Sycorax, his mom, but also working for Setebos, who Caliban looks up to and kind of worships. And Prospero also had kind of rolled over Caliban and another entity called Ariel. The Calibani and the Voynix, those kind of robot animal things, are just wiping people out. And the nest, Setebos is creating a nest in Paris Crater, and feeding off of all the past harm that's been done in this area. They're all starting to come together. This is going to get confusing. So then the old age humans, old style humans, old age humans that live in what was the U.S. and at Artis Hall, they are fighting Voynix, and they're almost wiped out. And some of them skip away. Members of the group kind of get split up. Harmon goes with this sprite named Ariel, and eventually meets up with Prospero and a post-human, one of the final post-humans. Damon is he's really had this change after fighting in space against Caliban, and he's kind of really leading everyone else. He's a tough guy. And Ada has turned into really like the leader. And you also have Hannah, and you have Odysseus. Odysseus gets attacked by Voynix. He has to go recharge. Everything comes together. You have the Greeks and Trojans on regular Earth. You have the Morvax, which I love. They have come to Earth to observe and figure out what's going on, but they also feel a need to help humans. So they go and fight the Voynix too, and Setebos. You have the small groups of humans trying to survive, losing a lot of people along the way, and also capturing one of Setebos' eggs, which keeps the Voynix away from the settlement until the egg hatches and there's a little brain animal thing in there, and it grows pretty quickly and also becomes a threat. Odysseus is going and doing things. We have another Odysseus that's come into the picture. There's a lot of sex. There's a lot of violence. I didn't know where it was going at that point. Everything was kind of coming together. It looked like, okay, the Morvax are going to help the humans. We're going to figure out what this Setebos and Sycorax, oh no, now I can't say her name, Circe, and Prospero are. And then, if we don't totally get that, at least not directly, and I don't know if it's just that William Shakespeare created this as a kind of a point of genius and created another reality because he thought these things up, and then they were brought from that multiverse, that reality, to ours. There's all these parallels with religion, and it gets a little confusing. So a lot of things happen. A lot of people die. Harmon, who is met up with Prospero and Mora. He's basically infused with all these books and has a super intelligence, and he passes it on to other humans. It turns out that there are these warheads. So way back, thousands of years ago, a caliphate wanted to wipe out Jews. And in the story, which is interesting because of the war right now in Israel, between Israel and Hamas. So way back, this caliphate brought things through time, and those were the Voynix, and the Voynix were supposed to wipe out Jews. And they also had this submarine called the Sword of Allah, I think, that had these, they weren't nuclear missiles, they were missiles that were going to create black holes, and it was going to destroy the Earth. And right before that happened, they were sunk. I don't know if we ever find out how they were sunk. I mean, these are the things that if you know why that submarine was sunk, please let me know, because I missed it. I don't know why that happened. So they have to offload the Morvax, offload these warheads, and send them off into space to save Earth. You kind of have all the storylines come together. There's a lot of closure. Some of my favorite characters are the Morvax, and especially Monmouth, who's one of the really main characters, and Orpheus of Io. The very end of the book, Orpheus is reading. Oh, I'm sorry. Monmouth is looking for William Shakespeare. He wants to find William Shakespeare. He's a big Shakespeare fan. He's digging for him. There's an egg from Setebos that was taken by the Morvax. I don't know what happens with that. They take it away to quarantine it and look at it. Could that be a problem in the future? Maybe. I don't know. As far as I know, there's not a number 3 book in this. Mora finds Mamet looking for William Shakespeare, and you can tell something's off. Like, she thinks it's dangerous. And at the very end, the community artist town now, is about to have a play. They're going to do a play, and it's The Tempest. And the characters in Tempest are Prospero, I think Sycorax, Caliban, and Setebos. And that's the play they're going to do. Orfeo is telling kids stories, and he's starting a new story, and the story is about Achilles and the siege of Troy. And the crazy thing is, where Orpheus starts in that story is the first lines of Ilium. So I guess that was kind of a holy shit moment, but I don't know. It may not have been. It's kind of like I need like another one just to figure out what I think happened or did not happen. There are certain things that I was hoping were going to go a certain way that didn't. That's why it wasn't 5 stars, it was 4 stars. But I really liked reading both of these. It was a lot. I'm a slow reader. And this is a lot of book. So a lot of books. But I really liked it. Dan Simmons, awesome. He has his own playlist on my channel now. Really an epic novel. And I'm sure there's a lot in this book and in these 2 books that I'm missing. If I am missing anything theme-wise or some kind of hidden messaging, whatever, and you've read these books, please let me know. Because I do feel like there's a lot there that I could be missing. I'm likely missing. Probably not a surprise to you, but I would love to know what I'm missing. So please let me know. 4 stars, again, Olympos. Great job. This is, I think, Machu Picchu and the Golden Gate Bridge. And then in Ilium, I think the cover was the walls of Troy. So, thanks for being here today. I will talk to you later. Oh, you know what? Also, happy Halloween. It's Halloween today. And my bat came. This is my brand new bat. It's an all red. I guess I can hold it so you can see that. An all red cricket bat. This is a player's edition. Custom made with regulator and my daughter's name. Also, I got the pink grip because the first match I ever saw was Middlesex County Cricket Club, and their jerseys are pink. So thank you, Paul Allred, for sending my bat. I did pay for it, but thank you for making it by hand, and I cannot wait to knock it in and have it ready to play with. It's a beautiful bat. It's huge. All right, thanks. Have a good one. Happy Halloween. Goodbye.